Hello, my name is Kelly, and this is Group 2 with me, Kelly Mahan, Benson Gonzalez, and Brady Paoli. Our presentation is number 2, Ethics Influences Respect for an Individual's Privacy, and also how an organization and its employees protect or neglect to protect their privacy. The main points I will be going over are the Equifax data breach, United States versus Microsoft, and the Ashley Madison data breach. So what is the Equifax data breach? Users were able to access the database of one of America's largest companies in charge of your credit information. And what was compromised? Birth dates, addresses, Social Security numbers, driver's license numbers of over 145 million people in America, but also the credit card numbers of over 200,000 Americans. So what is this transitional transgressions, the controversial transgressions? There's a lack of transparency, there's distrustful stock sales, there's also an unethical follow-through on their part. So the event, the data breach, clients were directed to a website that was a spoof website. And then when it was fixed, clients were directed to sign a release forfeiting their legal rights to sue Equifax. The Attorney General of New York City got involved and is currently and has rectified, completely banned that. So there is no more clause when you sign in to check your credit. So that was done in July of 29th, they found out that there was a breach. Then in August, 3 executives sold stock worth $2 million. They sold their stock saying, we didn't know that there was a breach when we sold our stock. Well, if they didn't know, then they should give back the money to the investors who paid for that stock as a show of good faith. But we'll see about that. The outcome is the CEO of Equifax resigns on September 26th after he admitted he didn't know anything about this, which is most likely not true. So what happened is the stocks immediately went down 13%. That's huge. The company's still in business and run by another executive at this point. They admitted their wrongdoing, but the trust has been lost. So what can you do? Experts agree that this is by far one of the worst cases of unethical behavior they have seen. And they suggest that people in America freeze their credit reports from Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion credit card companies. So I would like to turn it over to Benson, and he will tell you about the Microsoft versus United States. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to be talking to you guys about how Microsoft protected the privacy of its customers. So in this, recently there was an investigation of drug trafficking abroad in Ireland, and the US government was, the Trump administration requested information about the users of the email accounts and the accounts at Microsoft, of the customers who were using those accounts to get information about this investigation. The Microsoft server that this data was on was in Dublin, Ireland. And since that is outside of the United States, Microsoft said the US government did not have the jurisdiction to get that information. So the United States legislation, they passed this, the Stored Communications Act in 1986, which would have allowed them to get information from a cloud server in the internet from somewhere in the United States. But now, since there are servers all over, the U.S. government is still trying to apply this law to try and get information from lands abroad. But as that is not in the United States, Microsoft is protecting those customers and saying that the U.S. government does not have jurisdiction to get information from countries abroad. The Microsoft is defending that there should be protection no matter where the information is, and they should have to say who they give the information to and from whom. And the Microsoft policy is to just store the data closest to where that person lives. So for it being stored in Dublin, Ireland, it is definitely someone who's living abroad in Europe somewhere, most likely in Ireland. And so they're protecting that customer who lives in Ireland from the US government. In this case, Microsoft turned over the information user, but not the information, the actual email content to the US government to help with the investigation, but to not be unethical. So the government side in this case is that the government wants to be able to access private emails and information about the senders, and as part of investigations, Microsoft wants the customers to feel protected no matter where they are, and feel that they're protected from the US government in their own home country if that is abroad. And the outcome is that, for this example, was Microsoft is now going to the Supreme Court to protect the user of, in this case, the emails and of this user in this investigation. Now, on a more broad scale, the US government wants to pass the Cloud Act, which would allow them, as part of an investigation, to access information no matter where it is. Microsoft's view on this is that there should be law enforcement. If there is part of an investigation, there should be a certain access that the US government should have, but also there needs to be new laws passed and new international laws passed to agree on something based on how the government can reach into people's private lives. And we will know the outcome of this around June. And now I'm going to turn it over to Brady, who's going to talk about the Ashley Madison.
Alright guys, I'm Brady. I'm going to take you through the Ashley Madison data breach of 2015. Ashley Madison is a dating website that promotes married adults to have affairs. On July 12, 2015, Ashley Madison got the first notification from a group called the Impact Team to shut down operations, or they would make client info public. On July 19, 2015, the Impact Team publishes an article on Pabstabin. They said in the article that Ashley Madison had 30 days to shut down or all client info would be made public. On July 20th, 2015, Ashley Madison responded to the Impact Teams saying there was an attempt by an unauthorized organization to gain access to their system and that they were launching an investigation looking into it. On July 22nd, 2015, the Impact Team makes an attempt to prove to Ashley Madison that they weren't bluffing. They released the information of two individuals that were clients of Ashley Madison. On August 18, 2015, the Impact Team publishes another article in Pabstabin titled Time's Up. The first initial release was a file of about 10 gigabytes in size, releasing clients' names and informations and personal emails. Ashley Madison also issued a statement that day saying they were looking into the breach and that they were pursuing their investigation. August 20th, 2015, the Impact Team makes a second data dump. This dump contained 20 gigabytes of internal information on the Ashley Madison, mostly highlighting CEO's personal email. On August 23rd, 2015, the Impact Team makes a third data dump. This dump included government officials who had used the site. August 24th, Ashley Madison was hit with a $578 million class action lawsuit. The lawsuit stated that over 39 million people's user information had been exposed to the public. There was also 2 reported suicides in Toronto on this day that were linked to the data dumps. Ashley Madison also offers a $500,000 reward for any information on the impact team. August 25th to the 26th, the dumps continue. At this point, the impact team was going state by state, releasing all clients in those states. September 9th, security researcher Gabor Zasmari discovers that there was poor practices in Ashley Madison's source code, which made it very easy for the impact team to get into all their data and their client information. On September 10th, 2015, Centershore Prime, a cracking group, exposes Ashley Madison even more. This group claimed that it took them only 10 days to hack into 11 million of the client's personal emails, and this was all due to Ashley Madison's poor password security. So in closing, it's very apparent that Ashley Madison lacks ethical values. It's a company that their slogan is "Life is short, have an affair." I think that speaks for itself. I also believe that they failed to protect their clients by having poor security password codes, and which led to it being very easy for the impact team to breach into their system. And in my own personal opinion, it seems that the impact team had the strongest ethics out of everybody in this situation. They were aiming to shut down a group that had very low ethics, or they were going to expose people who had very low ethics by using this company to have an affair with. And, putting those beliefs aside though, at the end of the day, Ashley Madison was still responsible for protecting their clients' information, which they lacked to do so with poor security. They also failed to do that by not shutting down and doing the right thing and protecting their clients when the impact team gave them multiple opportunities to do so. They proved to them that they had client information by exposing 2 of them, and then they gave them 30 days, and Ashley Madison still didn't want to shut down. And then the first dump wasn't that big, then they got bigger and bigger and more severe, and Ashley Madison still wouldn't shut down. They even went as far as offering a $500,000 reward instead of just doing the right thing. And then there was also consequences that Ashley Madison had to face with the $578 million lawsuit. So as you can see, that there's a lack of ethics from all sorts of parties in this situation. Thank you guys for your time.
In conclusion, to wrap up, the Equifax data breach, they were clearly unethical because they sold their own stock, directed clients to a spoof site, and failed to notify their clients after the breach, and they got clients to sign a release that prevented legal action. In the case of the United States versus Microsoft, Microsoft was ethical because they were protecting their customers abroad from the reach of the US government. And in the case of the Ashley Madison data breach, they were unethical because they failed to take the necessary steps to protect their clients and refused to shut down after the breach. Thank you for watching.